Today we're doing a full face of makeup that I forgot I owned, so let's get into it. Hi everyone, I hope you're doing very well and welcome to today's video. So I own a lot of makeup, and I say this every time I do these type of videos, that I always forget that I have certain products in my collection. There could be things that I have used so many times, there could be things that I've used maybe once or twice. So because I always get a ton of new stuff, everything else that I use kind of gets forgotten about. So today I wanted to kind of relive some of my favorite products and some products that I kind of again I completely forgot about them. So let's go on to just like a kind of skincare item. So let's go in with Essence. So this is the Hello Good Stuff Glow Serum Primer. So this is the watermelon primer. I absolutely love these, and I absolutely love the ColourPop version that they used to have back in the day, like the kind of glow serums that they had. And I remember buying these Essence products when we had Wilkinson's in London, like in the UK, which most of them have closed down now, which is a bit annoying because I used to love going there to look at what Essence products have just come out, even though the area would be completely wrecked and everything would be open and people not using testers. Very annoying. But I am very happy that Essence you can now get in Primark. So every time I kind of go to like a bigger Primark, they have an Essence and Catrice stand. So maybe in the future I might pick up like another one, because I have used a few of these, but this one, I don't know why I haven't used it in quite a while. Again, I used to absolutely love these versions, but sometimes again serums are a bit difficult for me, because I mean I love using primers, so a serum primer isn't always going to be maybe best for my skin. But because the weather has been absolutely like disgustingly hot, I thought I would get something to kind of like make my skin feel a bit more hydrated. Now that I've given that a moment to settle in, next we're going in with the Charlotte Tilbury Unreal Skin Sheer Glow Tint. So when this came out, I thought this was like a straight up foundation. I didn't actually realise that for me it's more of a stick version of the kind of Hollywood Flawless primer, whatever thing is that everyone has absolutely been duping and are still duping to this day. It's insane how many people are still coming out with their own version. But yeah, when this came out I thought this was a foundation, and when I reviewed it I was a bit like, this is weird, like this is not a proper foundation. So this is essentially kind of like an all-round primer, if that makes any sense, but it's a very glowy one. So I haven't used this in such a long time. I have the shade 1.5 Fair, so I'm actually going to use a brush to kind of put this on, because I'm not the biggest fan of gliding stuff onto my face. I just have weird texture issues with stuff like that, so we're just going to kind of go in with it. We're not going to take a crazy amount. I just want to kind of put it in a couple of places where I'm just going to add a foundation on top, and straight away you can see how glowy that is. I have no idea why they kind of marketed this as a foundation. If you want to look like you're sweating constantly, this is perfect for you. I mean, I didn't even need to look sweaty the past week, because it has been, like I mentioned, what yesterday was like 30 degrees, and I know in America people say, oh that's nothing, blah blah blah, but if you live in the UK where we're not used to this type of heat, and we're not kind of built for this type of heat, it's a bit different. But I thought I would just use this because again I haven't used it in ages, and when I was going through like my foundation primers and stuff like that, I found this and I was like, I remember that, and now no one really talks about it anymore because it was a bit of a product. And again, it's kind of like a nice barrier between a foundation and like your skin, so you can see a massive difference from like using that serum to just using that. Now let's talk about a product that I absolutely love, but again for some reason I haven't used it in a while, and I just, in my brain it kind of disappeared, but it's the Maybelline Superstay Tint. And I recently watched Nikki LaRose's video where she did like a full face of Maybelline and she spoke about this, and I was like, I have that, and I can't believe I haven't used it in so long, because I used to use this constantly. Like, look how disgusting that is. And one thing that I'm kind of a bit here and there about this product is the packaging. Like, I do love a good pipette, but it just makes it look disgusting, like a horrible, like, yeah, the packaging just gets disgusting. And I might have to buy myself another one soon. I have the shade, can I find the shade 03, and I absolutely love this. I remember using this in all of my videos not even that long ago. I think it was like last year that I was using it. And even during the heat, I was kind of like, this works perfectly on my skin. I kind of wish that I wore this to my friend's wedding the other week, because when I was kind of umming and ahhing about what products to use, obviously at the time this wasn't in my brain, and I ended up using the Laura Mercier foundation, which worked for part of the day, and then the rest of the day I looked absolutely horrible. Like, my skin looked horrible, and I'm glad that if people were taking pictures of me, it was from far away, because I could not deal with pictures up close. But this is a big staple in my foundations and tints and stuff like that. I always say this is a proper, like a proper foundation as opposed to a tint, and I actually do want to buy another one because I believe it is almost finished, and it's just super disgusting, so I just kind of need to give it a bit of a clean. Yeah, I still absolutely love how this looks, and you can see the kind of Charlotte Tilbury thing kind of poking through a bit. It is a little bit warm here. I do have my fan on, but I've got it more on my baby because it is so warm, but we're looking good. I'm loving it. So let's go on to concealer. So this is a bit random, but again, when I was going through my collection, I kind of picked it and I was like, I haven't used this in ages, and this is She Glam Bright Eye Calling Concealer. This is in the shade Buttercream. So this has the cold applicator on top, which is perfect. My under eyes have been okay recently. I mean, my sleeping has gotten a lot better than the last few weeks, which is fine. Even in the sun, I mean in the sun, but in this heat, it's doing okay. I think I'm more just paranoid about making sure that my baby is okay. If you can hear any music in the back, is playing with his toys. But I'm just going to blend this in. Normally you would use the cooling applicator to kind of help blend it in, but I'm going to kind of work a bit quicker because if I can remember, this concealer dries down super quickly. While blending it in, I was kind of thinking, I'm pretty sure She Glam have come out with about another 4 or 5 concealers since this have come out. I don't think this is like super old. I think it is maybe like a year or so old, like a year and a half maybe, and I did quite like it back in the day, but again, I forgot that I had it, and it is quite thick, so like I said, you have to kind of work a bit fast so it doesn't dry down too quickly, and it is quite brightening, so I feel like it is pretty decent. I think you can still get it on their site, I'm not too sure, but it is definitely worth it. So let's go on to bronzer. So I haven't picked up anything by this brand in a while because, number one, I'm still trying to save my money because I'm gonna do like a get ready with me soon, but I currently don't have a job, so I'm obviously having to like not buy stuff, which I've been very good at not bought stuff. But anyway, Beauty Co-op just really haven't had anything that I have wanted to try. They've come up with so many like lip products and primers and all this and that, and I just want something a bit different. But this is the bronzer, this is the liquid bronzer, the Juice Pot. This is in the shade Almond, and again, this is another product that I used to absolutely love, and I love it. I just feel like the applicator is so tiny, so it's good for like being like quite precise when it comes to putting it on. I just got it in my hair, and I think this is still good to use, so let's kind of add some. The colour's a bit desirable, but I'm just going to kind of blend it in and just work it in. If you have picked up anything by Beauty Co-op recently, let me know what you've got, because they always have a sale on, like they constantly have like a 60% off sale, this sale, that sale, and I'm always getting tons of emails to like buy stuff, but again, I haven't really picked up anything in a while, but some of this stuff does still look pretty good, and I used to absolutely love buying this stuff back in the day when they first got to the UK. When they were in Superdrug, I picked up like quite a few of their things. Definitely their eyeshadow palettes were so good. I love those eyeshadow palettes, but now obviously they're in the UK, they're much more they're like a bigger brand, especially on TikTok. They're just constantly on, which is awesome. There's just nothing really that kind of speaks to me, but hopefully soon they might have something. So let's go on to blush. So this is quite recent in my collection, but again, I forgot that I had it. So this is number 7, but this is part of their, I think this is part of their professional range, their pro artist range that they've come out with. So this is the Rose Dream number 7 Velvet Cloud Blush. So this is like 100% a dupe for Rare Beauty, and I think they only have a couple of shades, and this one kind of was the one that was going to work for me the most. So I'm just gonna go in with this. I do remember this being quite drying, so this is a little bit dry on my, on like in the actual pan itself, where the Rare Beauty one I feel is a lot more creamier. Yeah, as you can see, I'm kind of blending it in, but it doesn't seem to be going that much onto my skin, and it's not like dry there is still got a bit of like softness to it. I just don't think it's kind of bringing out as much product as I wanted it to. And I remember when this came out only like a couple of months ago, if that, and I was like, I need to try this, but it's kind of something that for me, I need a blush that is intense, and I want something to kind of show up a bit more. You can see it, but it's just not enough for me. So let's go on to highlighter. So about face, I miss you guys. Where are you in the UK? Like, honestly, it's so frustrating. They have so many new products and we're not getting any of them. And I know that's just kind of how it goes with like brands that really might not do well in the UK, so they're kind of slowly getting rid of stuff. But it's frustrating because I really want to try so many of their things. All the YouTubers that I watch in the US are talking about how good their foundation is and all these other products that they're coming out with, and I just can't try them. And their foundation, I believe they don't ship to the UK. There's probably something in there that they obviously can't sell here, and I could imagine that the shipping to the UK is not affordable, which is very annoying. But you know, it's just makeup at the end of the day. That's fine. If I'm not trying anything, it's okay. So I mean, this is in the shade Light Lock. So was it? No, sorry, the Light Lock Stick. That's what the product is called. It's actually called Reluctance. I can't see very well without my glasses, so we're just gonna go with that name. But yeah, everything is so far looking so great. I mean, I don't know why I haven't used this tint in so long. But honestly, when it first came out, I was obsessed with it. So let's go on to eyes. So this is by Melt. This is their Gemini 2 palette, and I have so many eyeshadow palettes, and honestly, it was so difficult to kind of think of one to kind of use today, because again, I have so many that I haven't used in a while. But this one, it just kind of spoke out to me just because of the shades. And when this first arrived, it had a broken shadow, which I was so frustrated about, because I was like, I just want Melt to just send me something that isn't broken. And I think I got this on Beauty Bay, so obviously them shipping there and then shipping here and whatever. But yeah, this palette I absolutely love. Like, the shades are just perfect and up my street. I'm actually going to go in with kind of a red look today, because there's a couple of green looks here, but I'm just going to stick to kind of some of my favorite shades. So let's go in with Ladylike just here. And I mentioned before that I used to absolutely love Melt Cosmetics, but again, slowly in the UK we're not getting much. There's so much that I wanted to try, like their liquid eyeshadows and a couple of other things, but they're just not coming to the UK. And I wanted to recently get a mystery box, but the shipping was the same price as the box, and I was like, absolutely not. Like, if I'm spending £25 on a mystery box, but then I'm spending £25 on shipping, no. And especially if it's a mystery box and something that I've already got, or something that might not work for me. If it was kind of like, all right, it's in Beauty Bay and I'll get it, whatever, that's fine. But it wasn't, but that's okay. Again, the last thing I think Beauty Bay got was a couple, like an eyeshadow palette, like the purple one, which I wanted to try, but it was like 50 quid. So I was kind of like, I'm okay. So I'm still blending in Ladylike. I've actually added some of Sweetheart, which is next to it, which is a big shade that I've been loving, well, that I used to love as well. So I'm kind of blending them both in together. Okay, what I love about Melt is just how pigmented. I mean, I'm still using that Universal Monsters collection because it is like my absolutely like favorite collection that they've ever released. It's absolutely stunning. Next, let's go in with Lovesick, which is just a deeper red, and I hope they come out with like a new collaboration soon. I know the last one that they did, I think were, well, the one prior to that one was like the Bailey Sarian one, which was again a gorgeous collection, but it just wasn't really something that I needed to get because I got her first palette, which I absolutely loved, but I just didn't need to get like the second one. Yeah, I mean, I've had this palette for like ever since it came to Beauty Bay when it first came out, and this is still like absolutely gorgeous and absolutely pigmented. I'm gonna go in with LX Queen. I don't know what that means, but I'm just gonna take some of it. I don't think I've even used it. Wow. You can hear some rattling. Again, that's baby playing with his toys, so apologies if that is a bit loud. Okay, so I'm just going to end on Schmood, which is a shimmer, which is like, there's only two shimmers in this palette, but they're both stunning. This is a more of a red, deep red one. So we're just going to add that. The other one is like a green, which wouldn't have really worked with this look today. I went a little bit crazy on this side, so I had to kind of dumb it down just a little bit. I'm like, it's a little bit dramatic, unintentionally, but this is still an absolutely stunning palette. I've only had like an issue with like one or two of their palettes because sometimes they do have a little inconsistency, like their blue palette, their Blueprints one. Every time I used it, it just did not do anything for me, but everything else that I use is always stunning. So let's end on the lips. This is by Pat McGrath. So this is part of her Star Wars collection. This is her Liquid Lust Legendary Wear Metallic Lipstick, and it's in the shade Crimson Sunset. And I know that there was a lot of issue with this collection because people were saying that all she did was put a sticker on some of the palettes, which I understand, but I'm, as someone who doesn't really buy a lot of Pat McGrath because A, I can't afford it, and B, it just is a bit intense. Like some of the eyeshadow palettes for me are not really up my street, but when I saw that there was a Star Wars collection, of course I was all over it. But this I haven't used in such a long time, so this is a gorgeous red, and I love how small and precise the applicator is, so we're just going to go in with this today. I actually love how precise the applicator is, like I just mentioned, because a lot of lip products that I use these days make my lips insane. Like, it goes so over, and I know it's about taking your time and the applicator and everything, but sometimes it's a little bit much that I go over. But this is my finished look. Everything I have missed using, and even though it is so warm in here, the tint has not budged. Why did I just not use this a couple of weeks ago? Even though the weather wasn't like super crazy, it was so super humid like it is today, and I should have just done that. But you know, life goes on, it's not the end of the world. But all of these products I still absolutely love using. I think the only kind of here and there is that Charlotte Tilbury kind of hydrating foundation stick, whatever you want to call it. It worked really nicely kind of as like a base, but obviously as a foundation, if you want to look like you're sweating constantly, then that's for you, it's not for me. But yeah, I miss using everything. I think the About Face stick is like here and there, but you know what, it's not dried up, so I'm still just going to use it. And let me know what you have in your collection that you haven't used for a while, or that you forgot that you had, and stuff like that. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hope you have enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, because I film and upload every time I get a chance to. Don't forget to follow me on any of my social medias, because I'm always active on there, and appreciate you sitting down and listening to me ramble on. And I will see you soon. Bye bye.